Yeah, Manchester United are really proving they are the next Everton, lads. They used to be on their peak, and now they've fallen from grace, man. Because Everton really used to challenge and be in the top four, top five position. Now they're in relegation battles year after year. Nice stadium though. Hey, Man United, they're gonna about to get a new stadium. And now they are in heavy debt. They went out and reportedly borrowed an additional 105 million to help fund what they spent in the summer because they spent a lot of peas, man. That's basically the Sesko signing right there. Lads, unnecessary transfers. Honestly, the Sesko for one. Sesko and Hoyland are in the same level. You loan one out. You're basically paying this guy 20% of his wages for him to play for Napoli. First game in, scores a goal against who? Man United legend David De Gea. Now, we'll get into that part of their fall off and becoming the next Everton in a bit. But 713 million of debt, mate, that is absolutely terrible. Terrible. How can Man United, one of the biggest teams in the world, one of the biggest fan bases, one of the teams that make the most income, be in over 700 billion of debt? That is absolutely flabbergasted, man. They really should have had Saudi came and take over this club because they are in the mud. At least the oil money would have paid off the debt, and then they could have moved forward with the rebuild of the club. Now, not only are they in heavy debt, they have a manager with the worst win percentage since World War II. Mate, not only that, they want to sack this manager. You think it could get worse than the worst manager with the worst winning percentage in Man United since World War II? They want to go after Gareth Southgate, lads. Gareth Southgate. Look at the logic here. They say Man United are failing to adapt to Ruben Amorim's 3-4-3 formation. And you know what they're going to respond with? They're actually going to go out and get a literal replica, basically, with Gareth Southgate having a very similar formation with the back three and the two midfielders. So, lads, it's like complaining about your Honda Civic. Then you trade it in and get the Honda Accord. Lads, it's basically the same car. How are you going to complain? Like, all the lads are saying, oh, yeah, Ruben Amorim's formation sucks. Who are we bringing in? Gareth Southgate. You thought it couldn't get any worse? Well, Man United, it can. Jeez, it's like that lad. Oh, can it get any worse from here? It can. Then, not only that, Ruben Amorim apparently thought that Marcus Rashford was not good enough for 14th, 15th place Man United. But Barcelona thinks that he's good, that Marcus Rashford is good enough for them in the Champions League and for La Liga. Barcelona always finished top two in La Liga. They just made the Champions League semifinals. And they were like, you know what? Marcus Rashford would really fit into this squad. And you know how he responded in his first game in the Champions League for Barcelona? 2 absolute amazing goals. 1 absolute banger and 1 great goal. 2-1 win against Newcastle where they were struggling. You know, honestly, if Ultimate would have played in the first half, I think it would have been Newcastle winning the match. But Marcus Rashford in the second half, man, oh man, masterclass. Like I said, Hoyland too, debuting, you know, scoring against David De Gea. David De Gea has been great for Fiorentina as well. Scott McTominay has Ballon d'Or, you know, votes. Fred is in contention with Fenerbahce for the Turkish league year after year. You know, if I keep going and going, every Man United player that leaves ends up improving. You know, Sancho, remember he got loaned out to Dortmund Champions League final. Anthony got Betis into a European final. You know, all of these lads end up succeeding after leaving. Garnacho, you know, I'm recording this the day before United Chelsea. I'm not sure if I'll be able to post it after or before the Man United Chelsea game, but imagine this guy scores. Imagine this guy scores. He's about to pull out the Bruno Guimaraes 8 celebrations after 1 goal. My man's going to take off his shirt in front of the United fans. My man is going to run across the field Abedayor style and, you know, celebrate in front of the rival fans. You know, it's going to be absolutely dreadful for United fans if this guy ends up scoring a goal. I'm telling you, my man, they're like, oh, y'all think Garnacho's going to celebrate. My man is going to celebrate like if it was the World Cup final. That's how much he's going to celebrate because he absolutely despises you. My man snubbed Bayern Munich for Chelsea. You don't do that unless you really want to face Man United because, you know, Bayern will never face Man United in the next 5 years. Guaranteed you that. So this is the next Everton, lads. Everton, they would let go of players and they would succeed. That's been the Everton way. Every time they let go of players to a bigger club, these lads succeed. John Stones, Anthony Gordon. These are just a few names leaving the club for bigger aspirations. Now with Man United, the only difference is Everton got a transfer fee, a decent transfer fee for these guys. Man United send them out on loan, pay half their wages, while these guys are competing in Champions League masterclasses for big time clubs. Reigning champions of leagues. These guys are going to Dortmund, who made a Champions League final, Barcelona, who won La Ligas. Champions League semifinalists. These guys are going to bigger clubs and succeeding, but Man United don't think they're good enough for their own club. The logic's not there. I'm telling you. This is the next Everton. These guys are literally being ran by my Man City fans. Apparently, Barada's coming from City. How do you know this guy's not a double agent? The way he's moving. You're going to fire Dan Ashworth, but you're going for wanting Gareth Southgate over Amarin, and now you're going to sack Amarin for Gareth Southgate. Make it make sense, lads. You're moving like a championship club. I see more, stability and better decision-making from Wrexham than I'm seeing from Man United. Simple as that. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Man United are still a Big Six club? Personally, I don't.